everyone, my name is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we're going to continue on with the month of midges, chironomids, buzzers, whatever you want to call it. Today I'm going to tie more of a traditional North American style bead-headed ribbed chironomid. So let's get her going. Got a small bead on this one. I don't want a really big bead because I don't want to create a really big body. It's a Hends BL254N in a size 12 is my hook. Semperfli Nanosilk in black, 12-aught. If I had 18, I'd use that. I don't. For the body, Semperfli, where are we? Sorry, Mirror Tinsel and Mirage for the one rib. And then Semperfli Red wire in the small or the 0.1 mil for the secondary rib. And I will also be using just a whiff of Semperfli poly yarn for the gills. Okay. So put that bead back. Tie in your thread. I want to keep this as thin as possible because you got to get that bead over top. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just putting a whiff in here. And I do have the big end of the bead facing forward. Right, the big hole. So I'm just going to tie that in. Nip that off. Finish tying that down. And a bit of a taper if you can. That's about it. Whip finish, cut that off, and then I bring my bead forward, and then I will cut off my poly yarn to the length I want. I want this one fairly predominant, the poly yarn. Doesn't have to be really long, but that's about as long as I'd want. You can, when any of those little buggers are underneath, you can push back, get that up top because you want them to stay on top. Again, it's not a huge deal. When this gets wet, it's fish aren't going to see that anyway. Oh, just tying on my thread to about where the barb would be. Don't go past the bend on this because it's a straight shanked hook. You don't want to go past the bend. It just doesn't look right. Come forward. Now I'm going to take my red wire and my where's my piece of Mirage? Got a white pad on my desk, so it's hard to find this Mirage sometimes. So I'm going to tie this Mirage on first. Mirror Tinsel Mirage. Just going to tie this on just open wraps. Back to where I stopped there. Come back forward. Get my red, and I'm going to counterclockwise spin. Flatten that thread a bit. Tie in my red wire. Didn't have it tied in all the way. Tie in my red wire, trying to keep it on wherever you tie it in, whether it's the top or the side, try to keep it there. This time it's in the top. So now I'm just going to build up just a little bit of a taper. Don't want a huge taper on this, but I do want a taper towards the head. So now I'm going to come back about halfway and back forward. And that's about all I want. Just a little bit of a taper. Okay. So now I'm going to take my wire. Just going to get that mirror tinsel to cooperate with me and stay out of the way. Put this in my little holder. Okay. Take that wire and do 5 to 7 ribs. 6. That one will just be right, that's going to get buried by the thread anyway, the last one. Helicopter. This stuff breaks fairly easy, the 0.1. So, and then follow that rib. Just go in front of that red wire that you put in. Just go in front of it. So now what you're going to basically create here is a triple rib almost, right? Because the black underbody will almost act as a third rib. So that's off. Take my thread and just flatten it a little bit. And I'm going to take my whip finisher and just right behind there do a quick little 3-4 turn whip finish. Nip that off. Take my, in this case, Gulf Thinman. I use 2 different brands. I use the Semperfli UV resin and I use the Gulf resins. For this fly, for most chironomids, not just this fly, I prefer this Thinman because it's thinner. The Semperfli stuff is a little thicker, but it's great for like bigger tropical patterns and where you're going to need a little bit more product. And more, you want to fill a gap or two, then the Semperfli is awesome. It's absolutely phenomenal for that. But for these smaller ones, I prefer the Thinman from Gulf. I know everybody's got their own favorite. Seems Solar Res is one of the best favorites out there, but I've had a couple of friends that have been badly burned by that. Deb Pascal's one of them, so I just try to stay away from it if I can. Don't need to burn my face with a chemical burn. So there is, let's see if I can turn down that light a little bit because it's shining off of there now. There's the final. So super simple, tiny little chironomid. You can tie it on a smaller hook if you want. I like these slightly bigger hook. The body itself is not that big, but the hook is bigger. Just helps a little bit more substantial to help hold that fish on. But yeah, so that's another one for the month of chironomids. So hope you guys enjoyed that. This one I find extremely well, works extremely well at ice off and in the fall. Those are the 2 times I find this one works really well. It works all year round, but especially ice off and fall. It's just been one of those top producers. So super simple, nothing pretty, not as fancy as some of the guys that tie those really fancy chironomids. But I like keeping these fairly simple because I can tie a ton of them up fast. This took me a little bit because I slowed down for the video, but I can tie this thing up in 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and so I can get lots of them out. So, alrighty, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, give her a thumbs up. If you subscribed, awesome. If you haven't, please consider doing so. The 2,000 subscriber giveaway is coming, guys. I know I've been saying that for a little bit here, but I've been having some problems trying to figure out how to get everybody onto one giveaway list. So I'll get that figured out, and that'll come up in the next little bit here. It might have already been done by the time this one comes out. I'm not sure. I'm recording like 5 today. So, okay. Tie lines, everyone.